There's a person you couldn't stop thinking about, and if you're honest about the timeline, you'll notice something strange. You did not want them badly at first. You started wanting them the moment they started pulling away. Most people explain to themselves in one word. They call it love, or chemistry, or a connection so strong they couldn't help it. It usually isn't any of those. What you're feeling when someone pulls away is real, but is it proof that you love them? It's a system firing inside you, and once you see how that system works, you get a little bit of your freedom back. Start with the thing nobody wants to admit. The people who are steady, available, and glad to see you often feel a little boring, and the ones who are distant, hard to read, and slow to text can feel like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to you. That's backwards, and it's backwards for a reason that has nothing to do with who those people actually are. The reason has a name. Psychologists call it attachment. It's the way you've learned early to hold on to people you depend on, and people tend to fall into a few patterns. Some feel safe when someone is close, and safe when they have space. They don't panic either way. But a lot of people carry what's called an anxious pattern. For them, closeness feels good, and any sign of distance sets off an alarm. That alarm is the whole story. Here's what happens inside it. When someone you're drawn to pulls back, goes quiet, gets busy, cools off, the anxious system does not sit still. It floods. Your attention narrows down to that one person. You replay the last conversation. You check your phone. You feel a pull toward them that's stronger than anything you felt when they were right there in front of you. And in your mind, trying to explain that flood reaches for the nearest word. It says, this must be love. It must be. Because look how strong it is. But the strength is not measuring how right they are for you. It's measuring how loud your alarm is. A researcher will tell you that the flood and the calm are two different systems, and we're constantly mixing them up. When someone is steady and available, your alarm is quiet, no flood. And because there is no flood, you feel no thrill. And so you tell yourself there is no spark. When someone is distant, the alarm blares, the flood comes, and you call that intensity or chemistry. You're rating people by how much they scare your nervous system. You're calling the alarm a spark. There's a second piece, and it's the one that makes the chase so hard to quit. It comes from how rewards work. Imagine a machine that gives you a treat every time you press the button. You would press it when you wanted a treat and no more. Now imagine a machine that gives you a treat sometimes. You never know which press pays off. That second machine is the one people cannot walk away from. It's exactly how a slot machine is built. A person who is warm one day and distant the next is running that second machine. The affection comes sometimes, unpredictably, and the unpredictable reward is the most gripping kind there is. You're not addicted to them. You're caught in the schedule. Every cold spell makes the next warm moment feel enormous, and your brain keeps pulling the lever, waiting for the payout. Put those two things together, an alarm you mistake for love and a reward you can never predict, and you get a person you swear you cannot live without. The chase feels like the deepest thing you've ever felt. It's actually the most predictable thing in the world. Now the hard part. There's often a matching piece on the other side. People who pull away are frequently doing their own versions of this, where the anxious person panics at the distance. The distant person panics at the closeness. Space feels safe to them. So when you move toward them, they step back, not always to be cruel, but because the closeness sets off their alarm, the way distance sets off yours. Your alarm and their alarm feed each other. This is the trap that keeps so many people stuck for years. The anxious person chases, which makes the distant person retreat, which makes the anxious person chase harder. Each one is pulling the exact lever that triggers the other. It can feel like a once-in-a-lifetime bond. From the outside, it's two nervous systems locked in a loop, mistaking the loop for love. So what does the research actually suggest you do with this? I'm not going to hand you a trick to turn off feelings you've had your whole life, but there are a few things worth knowing, and they are quieter than the advice you usually hear. The first is to just name the flood when it comes. The next time someone pulls away and you feel that pull sharpen, you don't have to obey it. You can choose to notice it and say plainly, "This is my alarm, not my heart." That one sentence does not kill the feeling, but it puts a little space between you and the lever, and in that space you get to choose. The second is to look again at the calm. The steady, available person you filed under boring. That flat feeling is not the absence of love. It might be the absence of fear. Your system has spent so long calling panic passion that peace reads as nothing at all. That's worth sitting with before you walk away from someone good because they didn't make you anxious enough. Calm is not the same as no connection. The third is the honest one. If you keep ending up in the same chase with different faces, the common thread is not them. It's the pattern you're carrying. That's not a flaw in you, and it's not permanent. Attachment patterns can shift, usually slowly, often through being around someone steady enough that your alarm finally learns it doesn't need to fire. You're not broken. You're running old wiring, and wiring can be updated. None of this makes the pull disappear. The distant ones will still light you up, and the steady ones will still at first feel a little quiet. What changes is that how you know which is which. You know that the flood is an alarm and not a verdict, and that the peace is not emptiness. You were never chasing love. You were chasing the feeling of almost having something. Now you know the difference. And the next time someone starts to pull away and you feel yourself lean in, you can ask the better question. Not how do I get them back, but is this my heart or is this my alarm? Ask which one is really pulling. Start there. There's a kind of person who can make you doubt your own memory, convince you what you saw didn't happen. It has a name, and it works in a specific, predictable way. That one is next. I'll see you there.